In the event of a commercial conflict, the plaintiffs can take their case to court. After months of deliberation, the judge announces his decision, but time is money, which goes a long way to explaining the increased popularity of mediation and arbitration to settle disputes. With backing from the World Bank, OHADA organizes conferences, as here in Cabo Verde, to show how these alternatives to lengthy litigation can lead to swifter, less costly out-of-court settlements.
The courts in Chad are claiming $1.1 billion in dues and penalties from ExxonMobil, the main actor in the consortium exploiting Doba's petroleum resources. The two parties cannot agree on the amount due in taxes. The country's laws fix the rate at 2%, but the US petroleum giant has paid just 0.2% since 2009, claiming that this respects the terms of the agreement they have with the Chadian government. To avoid a lengthy legal case and agree on a lower sum, ExxonMobil has urged the authorities to go into arbitration. It's been said that a bad settlement is better than a good court case. From Ouagadougou to N'Djamena, and indeed around the world, arbitration is considered the best way to solve commercial disputes. 85% of cases of commercial litigation in the United States are dealt with by going to arbitration.
Arbitration
is better because courts can take a long time to reach a decision. In the OHADA zone, arbitration is a good way to solve problems and reach agreements on complicated commercial disputes that call for the kind of specialist knowledge that traditional tribunals don't always have. That's why arbitration is much faster.
OHADA representatives were in Praia, capital of the Cabo Verde Republic, to talk about this alternative way of solving disputes. As laid out in the Uniform Act of the Organization for the Harmonization of Business Law in Africa, devoted to arbitration. This is an option that can be taken when signing a contract, when there isn't even the hint of a conflict. Thanks to an arbitration clause, the concerned parties can agree to settle any disputes that may arise, without going to court. This means that investors are not at the mercy of the vicissitudes of the judicial system. The advantages of the OHADA option were not lost in Cabo Verde's economic players.
As the Minister for Justice and Labour said in her opening speech at the seminary, it is a way of solving conflicts that eases the workload for tribunals. Arbitration doesn't yet carry the weight that it should. And that is why we are taking this opportunity to encourage our members to include the arbitration clause in their contracts, making it possible to solve contractual disputes by arbitration. It's a serious alternative to conflict resolution. Speaking as an engineer, I think that rather than taking my case to a tribunal, and that can take 5 to 10 years, it would be much better for my business if I went to arbitration, because the decision is reached much more quickly. I know what I have to pay and what I'm owed.
By investing in the 17 member nations of the OHADA zone, the Cabo Verde business community has access to a community of 170 million inhabitants that is attracting increasing amounts of direct foreign investment.
If you opt for OHADA arbitration, you can still make your headquarters here in Praia at Santa Maria, and we will still be covered by OHADA arbitration. It is a very business-friendly system, and that includes Cape Verdean companies doing business with us and who would like to see their conflicts dealt with by the OHADA arbitration system.
With relatively few natural resources, this is a country that needs to attract foreign investors if it is to develop an economy that depends largely on tourism and services. With a population of 540,000 and growing, the archipelago is keen to create jobs by positioning itself in the industrial subcontracting sector for overseas companies. Integrating the OHADA zone may well present new opportunities and help the island develop trade ties with the continent.